let's get into it. You like that story,
There he
by the way?
is. I said, look, I ain't coming back on unless LoCain's on here. So, there's my guy.
His mother guy. Woo, what's going on, Woo?
Nothing, man. Just, you know what it is. Getting through the season. Just going.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
Good to
Hold
see
on, what's
you,
that
dude.
shirt say? Retired?
You're
Man.
tired. I hung up my cleats.
Yeah, I just want everyone to know.
I love
Yeah,
it.
man.
Oh, God.
Hey, Brandon, so let's start with what we were talking about. I don't know if you caught any of it, but without most people knowing everything to a story, do you have a problem with a pitcher kind of, doing this, looking towards the dugout when he's celebrating and he just shoved against a team that he thought should have offered him money, maybe?
I don't know. I'm pretty different in that aspect. I feel like my mindset with this game is it's such a hard game, and if I'm not completely focused when I go out to try to make a pitch in a baseball game, things can go a little sideways. So I don't tend to show emotion. But LoCain, one of the funniest things is he's like, I can tell when I'm getting pissed because my face starts getting red. I don't like giving up hits, so when that starts happening, the face starts getting red, and then I start trying to get a little too mad. But I don't try to show too much emotion. I mean, I just try to go out and do my job, make a pitch, get 3 outs, come in, sit down, and try to do it again and do it as many times as I can. And that's the only thing I can focus on. But I say that I've been with one team my whole career, so I don't know what it's like on the other side playing against a former team or other stuff that's going on the other side of the dugouts. With a team that kind of like you just described. I missed a little bit of what you guys were talking about, but I guess I'm a little bit different that way. I just try to go out and get outs and do my job, and that's it.
No, and that's fair, and that's you. My thing is because it's entertaining and it's cool and it brings a lot of juice to a May baseball game in the regular season. So if someone is celebrating or kind of motioning to your dugout, or we were talking about like Liam Hendricks, and there's been many others, especially closers, who will freak out and kind of act like the team is his ultimate opposition, even if it's not, to fuel them. Do you get pissed off, or you're just like, cool, good for you, and let's go get
if
him?
it's not if you're not disrespecting the other team or one specific person, I think it's fine. I think where you start to get to the point where you cross the line a little bit is when you're directly disrespecting your opponent, the game in a way. That's when you start to have a little bit of a problem. But if you're trying to fire your boys up and your team, and I mean, there's no problem with that. I mean, there's emotion in this game. People go about it different ways, but if it's in a good, I guess, organic way, I don't know if that's the right word, but if it's not disrespecting the opposing team or the guy you're in the facing the box, then I don't see a problem with it. I think it adds a little bit of entertainment, like you said, but there is a line where you can cross it, and if you don't cross that, then there's no problem.
Big Woo. For one, I want everybody to know my guy, best left-handed hitting pitcher in the game. Okay, I don't know if you guys
hold on. Do you got these questions pre-planned or what?
No,
I want to know.
My guy, Woo.
All
Okay,
right.
you are my guy. You will always be my guy. Okay, I don't know if we have a clip. I always say, let's check the tape. Do we have a clip of Big Woo leaning on Kershaw? I mean, taking him way back.
We will have it, I'm told, in about 120 seconds.
120
All
seconds.
right. Well, we're going to check the tape in 120 seconds.
Yeah, listen, I just, quick question. I just want to know, man, do you miss stepping in that box, or do you enjoy just focusing on just pitching now?
Hey, like you said, man, that's the jungle out there in that box. And if you ain't ready for it, it'll eat you up. No, it was great until they started throwing all speed and first pitch breaking balls, doubling up, pitching me inside, throwing me up, down, all this stuff. The hitters got to go through every day. And then that's when I started to struggle, man. I was a little bit of a hitter, and then it turned into I don't know if I'm ready for the jungle, man. And it's a fight out there every day. But I tell you what, last year I had a bat in my hand about every inning in between innings. This year, honestly, I ain't really touched one, man. I've kind of let that part of it go. And right now I'm not playing, I'm not pitching. and I sure ain't hitting for a while. So I've been going a little bit crazy, man. I can't sit still anyway. So I went in Chagar's equipment room the other day and grabbed my old AP5 out, sitting in the back, and I've been carrying it around with me in the clubhouse. So, but other than that, I don't miss the hitting. That stuff's hard, man. But it was cool to be able to see the other guys on the other side and see what it's like. But it ain't fun. But I do enjoy the challenge now. But I sit up on that top step with the hitting coaches, and I act like I know what I'm doing when I'm talking to them. But I know it's hard, man. It's hard.
Wait, are you allowed to use Marucci? Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we
hold
go.
on. Whack!
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Woo!
Give us the play-by-play, Lo.
Tell them about it, man.
Way back. Okay, he's excited. He's fired up right here.
Yeah, he don't show emotion though.
Hey, let's keep playing. Let's keep playing now. As he's crossing home plate, he almost broke my arm on the high five. You just keep watching, keep checking it out. Watch
about
how
blew
my
his
arm
UCL
bends
out right here.
He cut it off. Oh man. But my arm bent backwards, man. He almost broke my arm. He was so fired up, so excited. That's what I love about Big Woo, man. He enjoys it. He's fired up. And like I say, when he's out there, man, it's a joy to play behind him for sure.
Oh, okay, I appreciate that. But look, the emotion part, man, I don't know what happened. I don't remember touching first base, and I don't remember what I did running all the way to home. I don't remember slapping LoCain's hand. So that part, I don't remember. I remember swinging the bat, and that's it.
Nice.
Yeah, you just said you don't show emotion. There was a lot of emotion running around those bases.
Hey, like I said, I don't remember it. I don't know what happened.
Hey,
I blacked out. That's it.
You said you're using an AP5. That's a Marucci bat, right?
Yeah.
Are you allowed to use those? You went to Mississippi State. Marucci was invented at LSU now.
I know that. That's what I used last year, and I didn't get a hit. And the home run was with a Louisville Slugger. So, and that was the Eric Sogard bat, in which I got a pretty cool story about that. Chagar, I just saw him before I came in. He wanted me to give him a shout out, and this is the perfect opportunity to give him a shout out. I got a little backstory about this bat. So, hit the home run. Everything's crazy. We ended up losing that series in Game 7. Get back home, and my dad never asked for anything. And he's like, "Hey," he's like, "You think you could get me that bat that you hit the home run with?" And I was like, "Sure, yeah, I'll call Shog up real quick or whatever." So I call him up and I was like, "Hey, do you by chance have the bat?" And he was in Milwaukee. This is off season. He's like, I think they've already sent all the bats and stuff in the truck down to spring training. I think it's there, so we'll get it when we get there. So I show up, didn't forget first day. I said, "Hey, Shog, you got that bat?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's go back here and look." So we're looking in the back, can't find it. Right? He's like, "Well, it's probably in Milwaukee. I'm sure it's there. We'll get it." Okay, spring training's over. Show up in Milwaukee the first couple of days. I'm like, "Hey, let's go find that bat." Go in the equipment room, can't find it, and now he's like full panic because he realizes that he doesn't exactly know where this bat is, but he's like, "We're going to find this thing." So, come to find out, the assistant Phil on the other side in Milwaukee, he told Phil to if any of the guys that aren't on the team, just take their bats and send them down to the minor league side. So I was using the Eric Sogard bat, had his name on it, whatever. So long story short, the bat I hit the home run with got sent down to the minor leagues, and probably what I figured happened got broke in the first live action that it took, and it died a hero that way. And I never got to give it to my dad, and I still hold that grudge against Chagar. And man, it crushes him every time we get to talk about it. But I figured he wanted a little shout out on the show, so I figured I'd give him a shout out in that way. That's a perfect way to give him a shout out.
Nice.
Losing my bat,
needs
man.
To be on here. Chagar needs to be on here. We're trying to get all types of people in baseball, writers and pitchers and catchers and coaches. We need Chagar, the ultimate equipment manager of all time. So
look, you talk about stories. Those guys have the best stories for sure.
Incredible stories. Incredible. All right, Big Woo. Now the tough question.
All right.
How's the brasso feeling, man? How's the arm feeling? Are we progressing?
Yes. I played catch, so I took after the injury happened, I had about 4 weeks where I didn't do much in terms of I didn't pick up a baseball. I was doing the strengthening and in the weight room a lot. and then had a little bit of a hiccup just with a normal ramp up. Might have went a little too quick, so I took a few days off, and I just started back throwing yesterday, and I felt amazing. So hopefully I'll just be on a straight trajectory up, and just have a nice build up and get back in game action. But as far as the past week or so, I've been feeling great and played catch. I'm gonna play catch again today here in a little bit, and just start back with a build up, man. This is uncharted territory for me. I've never had a arm injury in pro ball, so I'm trying to navigate that a little bit. And but as of right now, I feel great, and I can't wait to get back out there and playing. I cannot stand sitting in the dugout watching.
Are you traveling with them? Are you traveling with the team, home and road?
Yeah, I told them. Apparently, they were going to try to play a joke on me after the first day I got hurt. Wade Miley was trying to get this all planned with counts, and we were in Arizona when I had the MRI, and I came in the next day, and they wanted to try to tell me that I was going to stay back in Arizona, and I think Counts didn't kind of want to go through with that joke. He said not this soon. So I guess I come off as a mean guy. I don't really know. I probably would have been pissed off, but if that was what they wanted to do, we were going to have to settle it. But they were going to have to tell my wife and my little girl that they were going to have to go to Arizona, not me. So, but I am with the team, and thankfully I am with the team because I'll probably go crazy. And I'm able to do everything with them, and I try to get in early and get out of the way so I'm not interrupting the guys who are healthy and playing in the game, and I try to get out of their way so I'm not a burden. So,
do you get bored? Because I can't imagine being out. I was never out for this long of a time. But do you get bored? Because I think it'd be boring as hell. You come in, you do 20 minutes of this, and you do 20 minutes of shoulder stuff, and then you're like, now I got 7 hours to do jack shit.
Well, you just go around and you just talk a lot of crap. That's what you do. So, I keep myself. I don't know. Yeah, I do a lot of talking. Ozzy, our hitting coach, he's always on me. He's like, I never shut up. So, Lowe and Kratzy can attest to that. I just want to talk to people, man, in the clubhouse. I just want to go up and talk and hang out. So I pass the time that way. But yeah, it gets a little boring when you don't get in that 5-day routine, and you look up and you're getting a pitch, so quick, and guys are already 10 outings in for starters. So I definitely get bored in that sense. But I do have stuff to keep me busy, and I do like to talk to a lot of folks. So no, that passes the time.
So today marks the anniversary for Ryan Braun's first ever game in the big leagues. Do you spend more or less time on the training table now than Braun would getting massages when he was healthy?
Oh, God bless, man. That's tough, man. I'm on the IL, so I'm supposed to be on the table getting ready, but I'd like to say I'm not even close. So I'm going to stick with that. I ain't even close, man. Not it. So another good little story, Brian Anderson, I guess he had caught wind that, Bronny liked to come in and he'd put the hot pack on his back, and that was kind of his thing as soon as he got to the field. So, and loosen up. And I guess he heard that Bronny did that a lot. So he come into the training room the other day, and he was like, they were like, you can either get in the hot tub and warm up a little bit, or we can put a hot pack on you. He's like, well, I don't know if I want to do that. He's like, I don't want to get made fun of. So, no, nobody's going to make fun of you. Go ahead. You don't have to just put a hot pack on. He put the hot pack on, and I was somewhere, and he come walking out of the training room, and I was like, what's up, Bronny? And he kind of looked at me, kept walking through the door, and he came back, and I got like this death stare, man. So I don't know if I want to mess with him anymore, but I guess that still floats around. But I wouldn't say I'm on the training table as much as he is. Not now.
Hey, when you come back and you're making rehab appearances, what's the plan? How does that work? I mean, obviously you still got some time, but are you going to make the phone call, find out where the best, I mean, it's usually in a kind of middle of nowhere spot.
Yeah,
so.
but no, you try to pick your schedule so you're at home. You want to pitch at home, right? Because you're first one out. You don't want to pitch on the road, so he'd pitch at home.
Right. But I'm talking about the food order too, then on top of that.
He's buying everyone's spread.
That's what I'm saying. So give me the whole 100%. Process there of how that works, right? Like when we fast forward, whenever it is, a few weeks, and you're like, all right, ready for rehab. Like, what's the combo? How do you get yourself at home? How do you set up the food to take care of everyone and for them to be like, oh shit, this guy's legit?
So the great thing is having Appleton, which is like an hour and a half away. If they're at home, I can literally do everything here and just literally drive over on the day I got to go throw in this pitch and come right back. So that's the easiest. Nashville's pretty close. I mean, that's a short flight. So like last year, I threw in Appleton. I got in the car, drove over. And basically, when you show up to the field, you just get with the clubby there. And I had already talked to him at that point, but I told him, I was like, what do the guys want? I'll get them whatever they want. And I think I can't remember what I ended up getting them. But you just buy them spread so you take care of that as soon as you get to the field. They ask you what you need, and you already kind of come with everything you need. But the first thing you take care of is you go see the manager, go talk to him, go talk to the staff, and then you get all the food order and everything, squared away, and get that situated so the guys can enjoy a good meal after the game. And because when you go to the minor leagues, man, it's bad. There's some bad food and bad stuff going on. So if you can just help those guys out and give them a good meal, it ain't even gotta be anything really nice, but just something different. Maybe like Outback or Chick-fil-A is a big hit, but I think I ended up doing Texas Roadhouse last year for them, and steaks and baked potatoes and stuff like that. So they really like that. And then go pitch, and this was the first time I think I realized last year to loosen up a little bit. I show up and this place is like packed. It's an hour and a half from Milwaukee, and it's like sold out. There's like 6,000 fans there. The place is packed. They're having like a little league. I don't know what you want to call it. They brought out a bunch of teams. So I'm like warming up in center field, and these kids are just like giving me high fives. And, usually when I'm getting ready for a game, I'm trying to focus on what I'm doing. So that was really the first time I come through there giving them high fives and was having fun. And so it's pretty cool to go back. You don't ever want to go rehab and go back down, but you appreciate that part of it, going back and seeing, how really bad it was. And now you're in a spot where you can help those kids out and they'll remember that, even if it's just a good meal. So that's kind of what it looks like.
That's good. Yeah, you got to buy Cracker Barrel because you love Cracker Barrel. I once bought Cracker Barrel spread. It was great. It was fat. Chicken and dumplings in a little pan. It works out perfect. You get all the stuff, all the sides and fixings. But if you go play for the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, have you ever milked a cow?
No, I haven't.
Okay,
I haven't.
So Kratz, the other day he wore a Timber Rattlers hat, and their name was the Wisconsin Udder Tuggers. Now, you went to Mississippi State, and I told you my daughter's going to Mississippi State, and there ain't nothing but farms around there. So you need to pitch, and you need to request the Udder Tuggers uniform. And hopefully Kratz went and got the hat, because it would be absolutely perfect for you.
Oh, God. Well, last year, I don't know if you saw this. Last year I threw there. I show up. They give me this jersey, and it's like, I'm talking, it goes down past my knees. It's huge. And I'm like, man, I can't wear this jersey. So they ended up in the clubby there freaking. You want to talk about freaking out? Oh God, the jersey doesn't fit. It ain't like that in the big leagues where you got your stuff custom to you or whatever. And he's freaking out trying to find a jersey. He's scrambling. He's like, all right, try on your pants. I try on the pants where they're like wearing a garbage sack. They're huge, man. I'm like, I can't wear these pants either. Luckily, I brought my pants, so I went into the manager, Joe Arod. I said, Joe, he was my first pro ball manager in 15 when I got in. And I said, Joe, I can't wear these pants. They're either super skin tight or they're huge. I said, I'm going to have to wear my cream pants, and is that okay? So he okayed it. So what they had is I had the cream pants, and they had like a white jersey. Ended up getting a white jersey that fit. So I was out there rocking my rehab start, rocking a white jersey with cream pants, and it looked awful, but it worked out. So it's but next time, I tell you what, if I haven't heard of that jersey. Is that the one where they got the cow print on it? I think I might have seen that one.
It's right here. Big Woo. They'll change the camera.
Oh,
look at that! Look at them udders. That's all you, kid. That's all you.
That is sick. Yeah. When I go back there and rehab, if I go back and rehab there, I'm gonna request that uniform.
And you got to buy the boys a little sign. You got to be creative. You got some time. This is a little longer IL stint for you. And I saw what you're making in arbitration. The boys down there know what you're making in arbitration. So I heard what you said. Texas Roadhouse. I need you to be here. You're at like an 8 or 9. I need you to be a 10, okay?
Ruth's Chris.
All right. Well, Texas Roadhouse might be the fanciest place they've got in these towns when you go to it. So you might have to give me some suggestions.
How about this? How about we go a pregame Chick-fil-A, some nugs.
Yeah.
A postgame Texas Roadhouse, and maybe some J's for the boys down there. Everybody gets a pair of J's.
Ooh.
Pair of J's. Well, if I was listen, I'm an Adidas guy. So I'll have to.
Adidas would love that. Come on, man.
I'm gonna have to hook them up with some Adidas, not J's, man. I'm Team Adidas.
Maybe some Costa.
But hey, I can handle. Hey, I got some Costas on. Yeah.
Maybe everybody needs some. I mean, minor league boys, they need some stuff.
You know what? That's a good idea, and I'm a very giving person, so. You know what? I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind.
Just think about it. You're a
I
guy.
like that.
You're a generous guy. You can do it.
Oh, people know. People know. I mean, that story, what was it? Maybe the first interview we did with you, the first combo earlier in the season about buying some food for random people, picking up their tabs.
Oh, yeah.
That got around.
Yeah. Love it. And LoCain pretty generous, too. He bought us a bunch of video cases one day, and this is when my eyes got open to the big leagues a little bit. I was like, I got a couple stories, the Miami story, and then the games thing. So, LoCain, man, I'm 18, debuted in 17, up for a little bit, and then 18, I was up and down like 6 times, and LoCain was like the one veteran when I would come up and down that would really just like sit down and talk to me, like, and just have fun with me and mess with me. I was like, oh, okay, this is my guy here. So. These little traveling game cases started coming out where you could take your console with you and it's got a TV in it and you just put it in there and flip it up, plug it in and play your video games. So we're all talking about them. Maybe one guy's got one here. Well, LoCain was like, well, just take a piece of paper around and see who all wants one. And I was like, wow. I was like, dang, that's big time. I've never seen this before. Like, this guy's going to buy everybody a case. Well, you had folks who ain't never picked up a game of controller, don't even know what Xbox, PlayStation is. They was writing their name down. You know, we had like 25, like the whole team had like 25 folks buy one. I don't know how much it was, Lo. It was quite a bit of money, but he's just like, here you go, boom, bought it. A week later, these things are in the clubhouse. And I was like, this is the coolest freaking thing ever. And I'm like, if I ever get to this point, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do stuff like that and try to take care of the boys. So then we get to Miami, and I was hurt at this time in 19 with my oblique, and I'm starting to come back. And Gio Gonzalez was with us. He's from Miami. He had a buddy down there that had a Lamborghini, and I was like, oh man, I've never even seen one of these before. Like, I'm from Mississippi. These things ain't even heard of. I was like, he's like, you can come see it. I was like, all right, cool. I want to come over to your house and see it, whatever, sit in it, whatever. So show up to the game that night, and we're sitting in the dugout. He's like, Big Woo, turn around. Gio was like, Big Woo, turn around. His buddies are sitting behind the dugout, and they've got a Lamborghini key and a Ferrari key, and they're like jingling them. They're like, oh, he's like, you're gonna drive one. And I said, oh no. I said, look. I don't know. These things are like spaceships. These are like, I don't know what's going on, but I said, I ain't driving these things. He said, yes, you are. So good thing we won the game. So we come in the clubhouse, we got the music going. We go into the food room, and Counts walks in, and Gio's like, Counts. He's like, Big Woo's he's gonna drive it. And I'm like, pro, like, hey, I got to get on the bus. Like, I got to ride the bus back to the hotel. There's zero chance I'm not going with the team. Like, I know my place here. Like, I'm gonna hop on the bus, do the whole thing. I'm not going by myself. And he's like, Big Woo's gonna drive a Lamborghini, this weekend. And Counts was like, oh, that's sick, man. Have fun. So once he said that, I was all in. Like, I got over the hump of like, got the manager's approval. So we show up, this white Lamborghini, brand new, 2020 at the time. I get in this thing, crank it up, and it had 83 miles on it. And I'm like, oh my God, what? I said, what am I doing, man? I'm sweating like it's got all these buttons in it and stuff, and I'm too big for the car. So I had it for the whole weekend. I'd valet it, and I'd drive a different guy to the field every day. Well, the last night I had it, it was my wife's birthday. We were having a little birthday dinner for her, and all the wives and stuff were already at the place in downtown. And so I was like, "Lo, man," I said, "Let's hop in the Lambo and let's go cruise. Let's go meet them, and we'll go have dinner." So we get in there, we drop the top. It's a beautiful night, Miami. We're in this Lamborghini, and everybody's looking at us. And we pull up to the valet. I've never been to this place. I don't even know where this place is. Pull up. Well, I pull past the valet, miss it. And I'm like, oh my God, like I can't park this thing. The guy's like, no, you can pull it in. So I just put this thing in reverse, just not the right etiquette to have a Lamborghini. I just throw this thing in reverse and back it in. And the guy goes, do you want to park it out front or do you want to put it in the garage? And I'm looking at Lo like, I think we should put it in the garage. I don't want nobody to see this thing. Lowe's like, nah, man. He's like, we're going to leave it out front. And the guy goes, it's either $50 to park it in the garage, or it's like, I don't know, $100 to leave it out front. He's like, no, we're gonna leave it out front. So we get out. He said, we get out. He hands him like, I don't know, I hand him a couple $100. He's like, here, man. He's like, it ain't nothing to a boss. And I was like, he looked at me and said, Big Woo, it ain't nothing to a boss. He said, these pockets are heavy. And when he said that, man, I was like, all right, this is it. Like, if I can ever make some LoCain money, I'm gonna take care of the boys. So that's my favorite Lamborghini Miami story I've had, and I don't think anything's gonna top that. But we just pulled up, and he just reached in his pocket, handed the guy the money, and he like, just keep the change. It ain't nothing to a boss. And when he said that, I about lost it, man. I about lost it.
Look at Lo, and Lo, you're just playing it cool, just like you did with stealing bases. On my knee hurts. You're like, I'm just chilling in Oklahoma with some farm animals. No, you're driving the Lambo, just tipping a couple hundo, leaving it out front.
I love you, Big Woo, man. You're the man.
If y'all need proof of that, I got pictures. We were taking pictures in front of the Lamborghini, the whole thing. It was fun.
Woo, I'm assuming it was like a Huracan Lamborghini.
It was a it was the Huracan Evo Spider. It was like it had just come out for that year.
So my buddy of mine had one, and he let me take my daughter to homecoming court, and he had to drive around. So he gives it to me, and he's about the same size as me. I couldn't fit in it, so the only way I could drive it is I had to put the top down because I was too tall, and then the windshield was like right here. So I'm driving down the highway, and I can't decide if I'm supposed to go under the top or over the top of the windshield because it was too short. So I get out, and I got a line on my forehead, and it's from the wind burn on my forehead that was over because I went under. So I'm driving this thing down the highway, and I had a wind burn on my head because it was too big. So
it's not like you're 6'6" or something.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Who's it for? It's for 5.
Apparently, my buddy's a little short, fat guy, so apparently it's for him.
Look like Dino. Look like Dino in the Lambo.
Exactly.
Well, good story. Yeah, appreciate it. Obviously, we'll try and get Lo on as much as we can when we bring you on, Big Woo. So this is fun.
Works.
We love it.
We got plenty more stories.
Bring it.
All right.
Good to see you, bud. We'll catch up again in a few weeks and keep on that recovery trail.
Yep. All right, fellas. Have a good one.